Welcome back to the desk. Grab your tickets now and meet us in Stockholm and potentially some of your favorite teams as well, as they're currently fighting it out to earn themselves those circuit points to qualify for DreamHack Stockholm, a last event of the year. We're now about to head into our second semi-finals in the NA region. We had a very dominant performance, of course, from Toronto Defiant in our first one. To be expected, Nightmare falls into the lower bracket. Let's find out who is going to have the honor, the pleasure, the unfortunate situation of facing off against Toronto Defiant next. Would it be Timeless? This is a roster made up of a lot of known players. We've seen these guys throughout all over NA contenders and the scene for many years.
Most notoriously, I think, Luminosity from the last couple of stages. We see the likes of Vision, looking on Squid, for example. And they've actually pieced it together quite nicely with this roster. They're 10-1 in Face It North America. That just tells you, right, that they've been doing really well in the region. That is without Toronto Defiant. But still, against some of the other competition we've been seeing so far in OWCS, they've been doing a really good job. Kaffa has been the primary tank for this team, and then Vision is your go-to hit scan player, which I'm really looking forward to see. And then Doom can come in, play the Tracer, play the Pharah, for example. So a good roster that is quite respectable. Can they bring it to NRG, though? That's quite a task.
Yeah, NRG has got to be considered the favorite heading into this. We're still trying to do it for Rack Attack. Can it be done?
I think it can definitely be done, right? This is a squad where, yes, they lost Infected, but they brought on, I think, the two best players who were on the historical M80 lineup with Tree and Ultraviolet, two of the most exciting young players in North America. And then they brought Kellen in on the tank. And it's a great meta for Kellen to bring out his Winston and be a huge difference maker. So I think this could be a real battle, but I think eyes on Tree and UV as players I'm really excited about. And I think on a team now that is going to bring that motivation, that intensity that those players really deserve, that like their focus on qualifying to Stockholm and delivering a great performance on LAN. I feel like this is a team that really is aligned in NRG and on delivering great results and wants to be next up to take on Toronto Defiant.
And they had a pretty flawless run through their groups as well. They didn't really drop a match there and were the first one to qualify out of Group B, I believe it was. And while, of course, the end score was flawless, some people suffered more in those matches than others. Let's take a look at this.
All right.
Okay, we have a kill counter. I know you all know what this is. PG, we love you. I just want to preface this with you are an insane player. He's clicking left and right, but in this particular match, he's been the sacrificial lamb.
This is the last time we're showing this, for real. This is I feel bad at this point for PG. This is the last time that we go over this. But
okay, that one was an L.
I mean,
I will say the way this match went was, I believe NRG actually won this map.
They did, yeah,
and I mean, he's playing up against a Lucio Kiri on hitscan. He's getting inted and run down, but his team wins a lot of these fights because the enemy is so focused on killing him, and he doesn't back down. So for me, I actually don't. I mean, I think some of these deaths were tough ones, but a lot of these is like, you know what? Sometimes you can't be scared to die. You got to get out there. Like if I'm taking players on my team, I don't want somebody who's afraid to die, who's sitting in the back playing safe. Maybe dying like that's not so good. But for the most part, I want somebody who's getting in there, mixing it up on the Cassidy.
Here's the Sombra. PG Sombra, let's go. Let's see it. Sick EMP coming in here, by the way. Cancels Lips sound barrier as well. But there's a few.
We cut that one out.
We
cut out all these good plays.
There it is. There it is. No, but he wasn't even looking at the Lucio. But still, it happened.
There were a lot of great plays in there too. Just again, maybe we'll make a highlight reel in the next one.
For the team. For the team, PG.
PG is a true team player.
True team player. Space created.
There's a lot of space created in these clips. A lot of space.
Yeah, he took 1 or 21 for the team.
22.
So PG, he's a real MVP for me personally. He took it with humor, of course, as he took to Twitter afterwards after someone pointed everyone's eyes at that score. Let's see.
That's what's up. I mean, PG, he is a player who brings a great attitude to competition and a great motivation. And I think he's a player that a lot of people have flocked to in the scene. People, his stream is popping off because I think he brings an energy that people really respond to. So you know what? I got love for PG. He can die 22 times. It's not going to stop me from cheering. It's not going to stop me from cheering.
That's right, that's right. And that's why I'm pretty sure across the board we had to have credit for this team. NRG Shock is really, really hard to pred against these players. They've been really lights out. They had a phenomenal group stage. This roster is really coming together. I see this being fairly dominant, although I wouldn't put it past Timeless to maybe take control, perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, we didn't talk about it, but the fact is that PG is not in the starting lineup, and instead we're going to see Scissors there.
Benched.
So you could say benched, but also it might be a bit of like a Kai situation, like Ens has, for example, where now you can sub in Scissors, have Scissors play the Tracer, and then Tree is just like hyper flex. Or maybe Tree will play hit scan. So
yeah, exactly. So Tree brings the flexibility where if you want to play double flex or hit scan, you put Tree in. Maybe PG comes in for like a hard committed hit scan role. We'll have to see how they manage the roster. But I do think it's important to remember this Timeless squad is actually quite a good team. Like they're very strong. I think NRG is just like another level above.
Yeah.
But I expect Timeless to at least get a map, right? With this loser map pick format, whether it's control or the map of their choice. I think they're a real threat. NRG has to keep their eyes open.
We're excited for the second semifinal to get started. And for all the action, we once more, of course, going to head it over to Necra. And Jack, who you got winning this one? Are you all NRG?
I predicted NRG to win this one, actually.
Shocker.
NRG Shock. I would give him a 3-1, though. Johnny.
Man after my own heart.
Yeah, 3-1. It's great. Don't you think?
cool.
Cool. See you after the game when I'm correct. It's going to be a good time. What? You predicted 3-1 for the last match. It makes sense, bro. You got to predict 3-0. Is Toronto Define? I'm walking away. I'm walking away like I'm casting. My bad. Start.
He's actually just walking
I was
screen.
sorry.
Like,
The screen's over there that I look at. I was walking away. I was just escaping. It's all good. Now I can walk. Okay, we can walk now. All right, Lijiang Tower, NRG Shock versus Timeless. Rose, yeah, was a little bit of a tragic game for PG, but a lot of space created, and it was a really fun match to watch as well. If you haven't watched that one, worth a rewind if you want something more to do later today.
It's a very funny reel for the number of deaths that PGE took, but even in the interview that he had yesterday, right, he was talking about the fact that it is honestly pretty hell playing the hit stands in a Diva's world at the moment. So, and he was in very good spirits about it. So I think that he understands that his role is to sometimes just play the bait, have to take one for the team, and know that the team is going to be able to pick it up in the end. But yeah, sadly, no PGE in this roster to start.
Nah, not to start off. We've got Tree and Scissors in. See what NRG Shock with Kellen. You expect the Winston. It's on the phone too. Wait, Cuff's on the phone too. Wait, are they calling each other? Exchanging strats, perhaps? Oh my goodness, wait.
They're calling for the gentleman's agreement so that they can both play.
Yeah, play Winston. Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Dive
Excellent.
mirror.
See ya on the market.
Oh, it's a little different here, though. Time is running out with Vision on the Sombra, and you pointed it out last match, Rose. Sombra getting a little bit more playtime now.
Sombra is getting more playtime, and Vision is one of the players to have done it. We actually ended up seeing this in their match yesterday off stream versus Fluffy Dreamland, where Vision was very comfortable being able to play the Sombra next to something like a Tracer or even Pharah coming through from Doomed. So excited to see that here and see if this will help out a little bit with Timeless's ability to play this dive mirror.
A nice counter dive there by Cuffer and Lucamino, spotting Kellen a little bit out of position. With the first cap as well. Really nice for the Sombra team too. If you get the cap first, you take control of that Mega Pack, which is quite a large resource of healing. Tree does, unfortunately though, as soon as I say that, take out Vision, and there goes Cuffer to boot. Okay, Timeless. Not quite the start they really wanted, despite capping first.
But I like the point that you were bringing up, because it would help to put that health pack in control for the Tracer duel as well, as you're going to see Doomed and Scissors fighting it out over something like that health pack. But now the shoe is on the other foot. It's actually going to be Tree that gets a little bit more of that advantage being on the defensive side, where poor Timeless, they just have to walk into some of these fairer rockets. Cuffer's going to have to take a couple to the face, I think.
Oh, Cuffer's going so low. Tree's 5%-ish towards that barrage as well, so looking pretty good for NRG Shock to hold this doorway. Tree can play pretty aggressively. Scissors is forced to hit the recall as Cuffer makes her way to the points. And just as quick as he did, quickly goes back to spawn. Nice barrage by Tree. Oh, a triple kill too. Quadra kill, in fact.
That's a lot of damage. Oh boy. Well, Fire Barrage expended there means that you still have the Pulse Bomb as well as the Primal Rage for NRG Shock. to keep control of the point with, but this is where things start to get a little tricky. Timeless are working up to that EMP. We might finally be able to see one in game, Joss.
We might finally see one unleashed. Primal Rage there, forced by the doomed pulse bomb. Ken's doing a mean bit of work with it though, but Cover's going to return in kind with a Primal Rage of his own. A good manual hack as well, stopping Kellen instantly jumping away. He's in very much danger. He's going to be ascended on by Timeless, who ended up capping the point pretty early on into that fight too, mind you. As I believe it was Doomed that ended up capping that one away, and now they have EMP, so playing super far up. They got Sound Barrier as well. Civ can even EMP Rack Attack's beat away. See if they can pull the PG.
It's been a long time since we've actually seen a Lucio have to hide in waiting for something like the EMP.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Well, Squid is dead. EMP does land. Rack Attack's going to get the Sound Barrier off though. Same with Lucamino. Kellen traded for Squid as they try and push NRG Shock all the way back to this choke point. Tree's not really got anywhere to maneuver right now on this Farah, despite the skies being rather open. They are just forced all the way back, and NRG Shock, they're going to be able to rebound from this one and kill Doomed, but they're quickly traded up yet again, so 4 on 4. Both teams down to DPS. TP away from Squid, who's now just hugging that mini pack. Scissors can't really find an entrance, hasn't got the blinks to do so, has got a recall and a pulse bomb in hands, actually just forced away just by Vision, just kind of pistoling him away. Pulse bomb goes a little bit wide as Cover ends up succumbing to Rack Attack. This rush on the point for Ultraviolet should see NRG Shock cleanly through this fight. But Timeless put themselves in a good position. They only need one more fight now.
So NRG Shock have their work cut out for them just a little bit. Having to expend quite a few pieces in that last fight still leaves them with the Barrage and the Primal Rage, though. As Timeless, yeah, the EMP is expensive, right? Like, that's kind of one of the big fight-winning ultimates that you're hoping for. The Vision's going to have to work back up to that one, and not a whole lot of time to spare to get that back up.
Lucamino died so quickly there. Barrage available from Tree. He can pop out of this, well, tree right next to him if he wants to, and unleash that. Cover's going to be priority target number 1 for Tree right now, stopping that bubble from gaining any value as Timeless once again find the flip. Pulse bomb lands, Primal ripped from Kellen, moving everybody away as the Sound Barrier comes in for Rack Attack. Lucamino quite far away considering the time left in the round. 5% for Timeless. NRG Shock are going to try and find the flip though, Rose.
They're going to get the flip as well, and with Timeless not even having the EMP up quite yet, they don't have a whole lot to actually initiate this
Look
next
at the barrage.
fight.
Oh, they don't touch!
This bar barrage.
Oh, they just don't touch, though. I mean, you got to be scared of the barrage,
that
but...
is a C9. That is a C9. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Force them to use the barrage. That is
They
C9.
do not touch. Oh, unlucky. Very unlucky.
That was a miscommunication.
Yeah,
though.
who was
like,
touching,
you have to
right?
send someone in.
Yeah.
And it should be either the Tracer or the Winston,
Right.
I feel like, in that scenario. And neither.
Yeah, just no touches.
Just no
That's the round.
touchers.
Oh, here's the replay. Look at that.
Please.
W production. Let's have a little look. Yeah, so 5 alive. Doom and Cover kind of stepping up. Again, kind of worried about this barrage. And, oh, Doomed. Just like a few frames too late there on the blink.
It's like, it's almost as if Kaffa's jump was actually a little bit too short there as well. Maybe getting stuck on the archway of the door instead. I don't know. Either way, you could have touched. You didn't. There was nothing that was booping you away. I'm going to call that one a C9, and we're going to go to the next round. We've got Control Center, as both of these teams instead are going to be coming out on the Malga compositions. A couple different flavors, though, from both teams as you look at Doomed on the Genji versus Scissors on the Pharah. So maybe a little bit better aerial control as you look at Scissors Pharah, just perched up there on the high ground. Kaffa's already so low as he has to actually back away with the overrun.
Just taking so many rockets from Scissors, controlling the high ground. And Vision is tough to really get an angle here. They eventually knock Scissors out of that nest. Doom dashing in, here's the deflect. Has to now go back to server room. As they send Kellen pretty low too. No one's capped either just yet. A very aggressive lamp to make sure Vision can play a little bit more unperturbed in the front line. And there it is, cap for Timeless.
Quick cap as well. After having dealt with the Pharah, it's much easier to step out and go ahead and be a little bit less afraid. Already chasing down Kellen as well. That pops the cardiac overdrive just to bully them back and wait for those reinforcements to come back out of spawn. That was wild to see that cooldown used so early, but you know that it's going to be back up in kind by the time that you actually get back to the point. Ultraviolet has the amplification matrix, so it should be I was gonna say 2 windows, but Squid got a lid, like absolutely deleted.
They both traded Baptiste here. Doomed in no man's land. Looked like they wanted to go for the mega health pack. Still Timeless in control of the point. They got ult to kind of sustain themselves as well if they want to, but Vision does need health. They've got Cardiac Overdrive, but eventually they let the point go. Maybe Vision tries for a high noon there, but was too low to utilize it, and that will result in the cap. NRG Shock in a good spot. They set Scissors up once again in this doorway. They got Barrage.
They do have Barrage, and it's the high noon first, though.
Double high noon, in fact. Oh, Kellen, too far up. Didn't get the sun down from the charge. Unlike Kuffer, who managed to cancel that high noon on the side of tree. Even the Barrage thrown in by Scissors, too. Timeless NRG Shock used both DPS ultimates and get nothing from it.
Absolutely cut down by Doomed. Like, Genji dashed up there and killed Scissors out of the sky while the ultimate was going off. And so that's a really big fight for Timeless to win with very, very little expended. Now they have the Cage Blade as the perfect combination.
Yeah, no surviving that one, unfortunately. Doom making that one look easy. Nice little team kill, and 70% on board.
That was an expensive ultimate combination to use, but you know that there's nothing for NRG Shock to combo with their own Cage as they get set up for this potentially final fight here. Timeless have a chance to tie up this map and bring us into a round number 3, and they're going to kick things off with the AM Matrix.
Agents him from Kellen, but instantly deleted. That window just providing so much firepower to Timeless. Did lose Vision in the process, but there's no tank here for NRG Shock. They got a sound barrier, and they might need to use just to stay in this fight. There's the charge. The beat comes through. Nice little wrap around there from Rack Attack, making sure Tree got the overhealth. Scissors still kind of denying this space from Timeless, just sitting on this high ground, perching like an eagle waiting for their prey. Nice little slap. Vision had no control over his character there. Booped by Kellen, booped by Rack Attack.
I always thought it was the takes that had a difficult time, but it's actually going to be the Cassidy this time around. Now that Timeless are a bit on the back foot here with looking at how depleted that ultimate bank is. They have the high noon to help maybe clip Scissors out of the sky, but this fire barrage looks like it could be absolutely deadly if set up in the proper position. It was not enough last time, though. Knowing that it had to weave around something like that immortality field, maybe getting a different angle this time around.
Look how aggressive Scissors was there. Thrusted straight into the backline, kills Lucamino. 60% reset here for Timeless, you would imagine. Don't lose UV. Oh, Doom cleans up too. And they clean Rack Attack as well. This is slowly NRG losing control of that fight on what looked like a win one. And Lucamino is able to get back ASAP. Taxi Vision halfway there as well. And now Timeless are in OT.
Not as a team of 5 either. Like, they have to come back in one at a time to just stall
Blade
point.
for Doomed, everybody's grouped up, just scared of this high noon tree. Just forcing the positioning of Timeless right now. Double DPS ult for Timeless. Point might get flipped here as NRG Shock are going to be able to get it. And Scissors with the flank. Oh, and the Rocket Barrage. I mean, you don't need to worry about Kuffer on this high ground. You could just chill if you really want, but no. Scissors is still going to go in. Doom manages to get cleanup kills once again, but NRG Shock, most importantly, are in control.
I felt like almost too easy of a trigger, though, for Kuffa to have pulled that Cage. If he had it for this next fight, he would have been able to pair that with something like the Blade and Timeless. Should have been able to sink this one
Got to touch this time, though.
Very quickly. Now they have to touch, though.
They got it.
Please actually touch the point.
High noon from Vision. Squid, one clipped. Vision pushing people back to server. Pulls the trigger. Only gets a little bit of damage onto Scissors, but forced the recall. Here comes the Blade from Doom. A nice little Suzu there from UV, aiding in the kill of the Genji. And the Cage in server room. No firewall, no nothing. All good. NRG Shock capped the point. And they're going to find the map after that swift team kill.
Okay, so maybe not first round, maybe not a fluke. NRG Shock actually finally able to sink it in for that second round as well. But I think it was so close, and that was made this matchup so exciting. Looking at it on paper, is that NRG Shock, Timeless, I feel like 2 pretty evenly matched teams, and Lijiang was a very good indicator of that. Very
yeah, I mean, hey, that could have been a very different story if they managed to get that touch on the first round. Definitely kicking themselves, and you can see how they felt like they were definitely a little bit more proactive getting that that touch there on that that final round. You pushing forward. Okay, we got high noon. Okay, we're going to be able to touch. All good. We've got speed. We're chilling. But yeah, pretty close so far.
Imagine if they still had the cage from Kuffa that got used so late in that second to last fight that when you're already down and members and maybe you were able to have that for that final fight with the blade, could have also been different there too. So just a couple of miscommunications, it feels like, on the team to have missed the touch here on Market and then not had that perfect ultimate combo for that final fight.
I think Scissors looked really good on the Pharah as well. We saw Pharah in these Mauga comps, even after Mauga got slightly changed, the cardiac overdrive being changed. So it's no longer like, it felt like infinite before, but it's very short now, but gives more healing. Only lasts 3 seconds. That's why Diva's very good against the Mauga, of course. Just, you know, we just matrix the whole the whole cardiac overdrive and you're good, you're chilling. But with the Pharah and the Mauga, it still works exceptionally well. I'm sure Scissors will continue to use that for as long as he possibly can. We'll see if PGE also gets subbed in at some point. Will be the map choice now of Timeless as to where we go next.
Pharah looking really good. I think if PGE does come in, it would be so that maybe we do see sort of like a double hit scan sort of composition coming through from Tree and PGE, but it remains to be seen. Look at how close the map stats are though, right? Like KD is so close. Everything just kind of micro pieces apart from each other for healing.
The 2-0 doesn't play the whole story there, does it really?
Fantastic.
Ideally, it was a little bit of a 2-1. Yeah, very, very close so far. Of course, any team losing here will get knocked down to lower brackets, so they've still got another chance as we set up for the next match. And hopefully see if we got any substitutions as well, because obviously PG ended up coming in when we saw Hybrid.
That's true, yeah. Even on Saravasa as well, I think even yesterday versus Timeless Ethereal, that ended up being Sojourn and sort of Tracer angle. But since we are looking at Dorado as our next map in the series, maybe we could, but I definitely expect to see more Pharah here from Scissors.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Dorado. Okay, a lot of dive. Definitely a map Timeless want to go to, especially with how much they want to play dive. I mean, but at the same time, it's like, okay, Kellen also like maining the Winston right now. Still curious if we're ever going to see a little bit more Diva from him, but I doubt it. And we do see the sub. Okay, PGE, the Dark Lord, is in for NRG Shock.
It's actually a good note too, because then you could put PGE on the Tracer. Tree actually also played Pharah a little bit on the Saravasa pick in their winners round yesterday. So maybe a little bit of kind of finagling there in order to make sure that the damage rolls are separated. That might be fun. But Dorado, like we sort of expect to see Winston played once again here from Kellen and Kuffa, and then round it out, I guess, however you like, with something like a Pharah or a
Let's jump in. It's Dorado. Timeless's map pick against NRG Shock. She's going to be dive, dive, dive. Yeah, maybe a little bit more Pharah. Double hit scan, though. Super nice on this map. Love to see some more Widowmaker. Some of the Widowmaker Dorados we've had recently were ridiculous. That game in EU earlier, it was all Widows. All of them. Like Keo was destroying on the Widow.
He was crushing.
Yeah,
Keo made Space Station look like the worst team in EU, which is obviously not true. But you know, Keo's Widowmaker.
It was the battle of Sparker versus Keo, that match on the Widow on Dorado. So I love seeing the map. And on defense, yeah, Vision will be running Widow, and Lucamino and Squid on the Ana Brig. A little bit more defensive on high ground. Makes the most sense though. Don't want to go anything too crazy. We'll see what NRG Shock want to roll out with. We'll see if PG ends up switching to Widow too. I'd imagine so, as soon as you see Vision kind of coming through with that. Although, Tree on the Bastion. Okay, are they going to petal up and then put the Bastion in a good spot? They are.
Bastion.
PGE.
No way.
And that is how you take high ground. Oh, yes. Cover going super low. And that's going to be a good sleep as well. What a good pick. The Rack Attack Weaver comes in a mad clutch. Just boosting people to high ground, and there's the PG swap to Widow. Tree's going to go Tracer, Rack back to Brig, and Timeless, where's your defense at? It's gone.
If there was anybody that I trust to play the Life Weaver pick, it's certainly Rack Attack. I hope we get a chance to see him on that once again at some point, but Kellen's already going to try to create more space, knowing that they were able to get that high ground control so early, but gets eliminated in the process. So it's going to be more space actually being taken back from Timeless.
No, all their hard work. No. And Kellen gets slept antied.
Oh, for not.
Yeah, I guess they get a little bit of space on the point, but not a crazy amount. Although NRG Shock's backline, very strong, powerful position. If you can get your Brig and Ana up there, it's going to be hard to dive. Nice nade onto Rack Attack, but an easy shield bash away to safety.
So a little bit of a standstill right now as NRG Shock. They get set up for another attack push. They have this high ground control though, so this cart's gonna be very easily be able to make it underneath this archway, which is a lot. Oh, especially PG is gonna get a pick like that.
Little short hop there with the grapple, looking for the Ana now. Body shot will do. Tree's there for the follow. That was dirty. Nice double kill for PGE. 2 minutes to go. NRG Shock in a good spot. Goes for the grapple. Oh yeah, Vision's waiting for him.
Gotta be careful. I mean, this is just gonna be another quick recontest here, but Kellen is able to block the door with something like the Primal. Yeah, like at that point, it's a little too late to come through for that full 5v5. You're gonna see Timeless instantly back up, take this high ground instead, and Vision getting a sight line. Oh, do it. Do it, do it,
PG
do it.
knows. They're waiting.
He is smarter
Sees
than
ahead
that.
of the Tracer. Swing and a miss. Goes to the grapple again. Hits the shield. As soon as you hear that grapple, if you're a Brig player, you instantly hold that right click, just in case they're looking at you. Infosight's not available for Vision. 10% away, so they're going to be able to use this info to push on now.
Should be able to be answered soon, but
Good double heady.
wow, that's just 2 instant headshots.
Good kill onto Doom as well. Comfort trying to deal with PG, who's been an absolute menace so far. It's on the mini pack. It's actually just well, that's the nano basically used. Kellen doesn't get nano too. Stunned on the high ground. Has to deal with a rally now. Primal Rage still available from the Winston. In fact, Lucamino's going super low, and there's no squid for backup anymore. Dealt quite swiftly there by Rack Attack.
That is just a clean fight win here as NRG Shock continue to make this progress. They had to expend a lot though for that. PGE sides so early, able to get a bit of space there, and then they have to invest the nano and the rally. The good news for them is that they got the same ultimates out of Timeless's pocket, but there's still going to be that pulse bomb advantage here from Doomed to be able to help stabilize this defense here for Timeless, but no way!
Yeah, you got to know he's got Primal Rage. PG now trying to play a little bit of Subway Servers on that high ground. NRG Shock.
Forced it out so early, though.
Yeah, they do end up trading again. These Primal Rages for Primal Rages. Winston, pretty good at stalling the cart now, especially with this bubble. Good stick on to Kellen. Overstaying is welcome yet again. Not respecting the Doom Pulse Bomb.
It's going to be a big stabilization as Timeless look for a couple more picks. PGE getting Vision, though, is a really big deal. I mean, it just gives you a little bit more freedom. Try to go after the backline instead.
Oh, downtown. Couldn't quite avoid that one, sadly. Good nade by Squid. That was a long shot, that one. All right, Kellen's back in the mix. He's got Primal Rage, and Rack Attack is 1 HP. Oh, yeah, DC Ultraviolet is 1 HP. See Rack Attack 180, like, what just happened to my Hana? Oh, backlines are suffering right now, and unfortunately it's not from success.
It's gonna have to be a reset. NRG Shock, you got 2 minutes, don't worry. If you're a Shock fan, they still got some time to work with. Tree now with a Pulse Bomb too to try to throw in the mix. But it is a little bit more difficult for NRG Shock to assail this back half of the second point, because you are just going right into the loving open arms of Vision's Widowmaker here. You can take this courtyard approach. I think that does limit a little bit of the access that Vision's going to have on the sightlines, but you can already see this fast rotation here from Timeless to go over to the other high
Look at this
ground.
aggressive push here from Squid and Lucamino. Oh, Lucamino paid for it, though, rather dearly. And I think Squid is going to suffer close to the same fate. Yeah, Kellen down. A cheeky play from Lucamino and Squid, crouch walking up above the church to try and get a nade on the back line. Kuffer's going to pop the Primal, forces Rack to use Rally. but they are going to be able to get this point. I mean, there's 1 minute to go. I mean, surely cover touches, yeah, but where's the staying power? Slept, antied. There's no Suzu on the other side, so you're not going to be able to stay around for too long, even forcing the recall from Doomed, and that'll be that.
Oh, you get a bit of a stagger here too onto the supports. Yeah, like they go down so late here, so it's gonna be easy for this payload to actually push its way past these doors. And Shock too, like Kellen with the Primal Rage can actually take this forward positioning, even find more space for this payload to move. With the nano boost as well, you know that no matter what, Kellen's gonna be able to hold this front line so well.
Vision has sights available. PG, just a question, would you activate them? You gotta know, as soon as PG kind of shoots, pop the sights. Oh! I've never seen a Tracer get headshot so much by a Widowmaker. Rally pot from Lucamino, Nano on Kellen. Still, you're gonna have to get to Squid on the back line, but I mean, good luck. You're gonna get bashed, you're gonna get slapped. Sights have been activated. Oh, the loss of the Nano there by Squid. I think they threw it out on Cuffer, but Cuffer instantly dies to the pulse bomb. Another headshot on the Tracer. PGE. My word, if the lore was written any different, PG will be the main villain. 1 minute and 12 seconds there as they sink that payload in.
Score.
NRG Shock.
That performance.
Looking clean.
This is why people can understand that PGE had to be the focus of so much of those last couple of matches. Like the death count is super funny until you realize that left alone, PGE can perform like that. And especially on the Widowmaker, Kellen has created so much space for him to just have free reign. This is his oyster. We are just living in it. That's crazy.
Doom's like, how? How do I die so much on the Tracer versus the Widow?
I'd be so angry if I were Doom.
Yeah, PG is hitting some nasty shots right now, really turning up to 200%. Super Saiyan plus Ultra, all of the above. All right, Shock's defense.
It's the
running
hair.
with the same things, the hair buff. They best not get a haircut again then, because that was a little tragic last time. See, let's see what Timeless, if they end up switching up anything here, I doubt it very much. They're not going to try the Lifeweaver Bastion strat, ain't no way. But that's a specialty of a rack.
Oh, I think it still works as a composition, and I think when you look at the Widowmaker's ability on the attack, it will always feel more snowball-y, just because you get one pick, it opens things up so much for the attacking team to just keep pushing with an advantage like that. So maybe Timeless, they can flip it a little bit. Vision, maybe now on the attack, can show us that same type of impact.
Yeah, definitely saw the barrel of the gun there from PG. Kind of exchanging body shots. PG was looking at more of a defensive angle with the Widowmaker, waiting for maybe Cuffer to dive Kellen. So always up to these Widows on these first points, unless you can find a crazy miracle pick with a nade or something.
Being so patient, though. Oh, these Widowmaker duels have been so fun. You could totally follow this up onto a couple of headshots onto even the Ana if you want. That's not a great example.
It was close. Almost hit the headshot.
It was very close.
Did cause Squid to pirouette slightly and make sure they're not insta-killed. That bubble from Kellen saving the support's life as well. This payload is getting a move on. 90% of the Primal Rage for Cuffer. Should be the first old Timeless they're going to get. He's done a lot of damage already. In fact, he's already got the Primal Rage. I think NRG Shock going to realize this is happening. Cuffer rips it. He's trying to boop Ultraviolet around now. A couple of trays back and forth. A good sleep onto the Primal Raging Winston. Will wake up in just a moment. His backline should be fine as Cuffer doesn't have Doomed or Vision with follow-up. So those large monkey hands aren't doing that much damage, realistically.
But this is an awkward rotation for NRG Shock to have to take. Oh, the sleep is perfect, though, to make sure
he did it
get
again.
out of there. Not again!
Oh, man. Enemy number one is Dune. PG, once again, meeting his head with a bullet. Cuffer, Nano, Dorado comes out as well. Kellen having the worst time imaginable right now playing Overwatch. Cuffer got anti, so had to back. A lot of ults invested in that fight for Timeless. Use bubbles, both support ultimates. And now you're going to feel pretty confident if you're NRG Shock. You've got sight and you have Rack with the ultimate as well. That rally is going to be so useful, surviving the dive here from Doomed and Cover.
Sights coming through from both Widowmakers. PGE's just expired, so he still has to be a little bit careful peeking up, knowing that Vision does have sights of him. But Rack Attack pressing the rally is actually going to force back Timeless. And Jaws, they only have 1 minute and 30 seconds left. This payload is stopped before that first checkpoint.
Looking at a little bit of a lackluster push.
Just respawned.
And yeah, with the Cover just respawning now, you're setting up in the next 30 seconds or so, or 20 seconds or so, and then going for a dive. Like, it's pretty much final fight. Chirima's finding the one clip onto Vision. Narrowly surviving some shots there from PGE. Doom doesn't want any of that smoke. Pulse bomb in his hands, however. Bubbles are down, stick lands. There you go, that's the pick that you wanted. Nanobush deployed onto Kellen, however, as Doom searches for another kill. As Kellen is doing the same right now, he's just on the payload. Vision gets a little bit of revenge there on Tree, finding a nice little headshot.
Oh, Doomed as well. Finally able to pick up PGE. I feel like that's got to also feel very sweet in terms of revenge. But Kappa's back to really put the pressure on as Kellen comes in with the Primal Rage.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be able to take out Rack Attack, but what in the world? This defense from NRG Shock is still holding strong. Kellen with the Primal Rage was perfect enough to draw the line in the sand, and that's going to be 15 seconds left at this point. Timeless has to respawn and regroup, or they're going to get held on first.
Tree's got the key to the city right now. That pulse bomb, if it lands on either of Lucamino or Squid, it could be all over, and Squid is down. No more Nano. Nice headshot from Vision, but where's the damage? Where are more kills? Someone's going to have to touch as well, and a touch is successful there, but PG is hunting. A body shot onto Doomed, as Rack Attack also ends up falling. Both supports and Timeless are going to come back in this fight, but someone still needs to touch. Luckily, though, for Cuffer. And the rest of Timeless, to be fair, it was in Primal Rage. Squid back, Lucamino popping the rally. This should be the first point, but it was a struggle. Tree almost made that an impossibility. They managed to get it done.
Squid going down there was definitely not looking very good for Timeless, but you were able to stabilize with the rally, the Primal Rage. That was really good for Lucamino and Kuffa to still be there to just provide that extra amount of sustainability. But this is where the struggle continues, because there's 2 minutes to get through the second phase. That's a lot of distance to have to cover here, as NRG Shock are going to be able to come back with a rally of their own pretty soon here. Sights from PGE. PGE's been crushing it in the second round, despite being on the defense. That has been such a thorn in Timeless's side.
PG with sights. Kuffa just taking round after round. Oh, here's Doom. Yo, 180. Almost hit it. Yeah, Doom still a little bit scared of PG now, and I would be too. PG getting packs from the high ground as well from Rack Attack to keep himself alive. In fact, forced Doom's recall as well, but there's Vision taking advantage of the chaos that was created by Doom. Tree with a pulse. I wonder if that was a stick onto Doomed. It might have been. Only a minute to go. NRG Shock burning this time bank away from Timeless, and considering they finished with a minute, it's not looking good for the team in blue.
Nano boost onto Kuffa, but that's an instant response to the rally there from Rack Attack and the sleep from Ultraviolet.
Yeah, there goes the Nano. Primal Rage still popping though, but look already. I mean, Squid and Vision are dead, Rose.
That is another reset that Timeless are going to have to go for now. And after that Nano boost that got negated, Kuffa actually used the Primal Rage. After that backline, it expired too. So you have to come back into this one with Lucamino's rally. But now, look at the time bank. All of that stall, and for what? You've got 35 seconds left. This is one push that you have if you're Timeless, and then it's overtime. That's not an easy task to have to look at. You have to play on the cart now, especially if you want to find value from this Lucamino rally. All the onus now on NRG Shock.
Oh, post bomb misses. PG picks up the mega pack. Swarm big ultimate down there for Timeless. They are going to be touching the points. And here comes the rally from Lucamino. Was the difference maker last time? Can the same be said for this last OT push onto second. Doomswat's PG again, trying to go for the one clip, but packs are flying. Rack Attack's cookies, they're being delivered fresh from the oven as PG is staying alive. Someone has to touch, and Doomed by just a fraction of a second there manages to get it, but still trying to take out PG. And all the meanwhile, cover Lucamino and everything, and oh, of course he had to do it to him. PGE gets the final kill on Doomed as NRG take the map.
There was no ending that is a better fit than PGE getting another pick on Doomed, especially from the skies, no less. Oh my god, you can put together a full highlight reel of PGE styling on the Tracer, the Ana, that entire team.
It was definitely a map for the
cow.
Widowmakers. We've had one already today in EU. We got another one here. I'm delighted, honestly. We're seeing a lot more Widow, thankfully. That was a good map from NRG Shock. Where did Timeless go from here? Match point for NRG right now, Rose. I think this was going to be a little bit closer than it is currently. I mean, you want to play dive, of course. You want to have Cuffer and Winston. I mean, even Kellen doing a fair bit of work, although a lot of the times checked. There were a couple of times in their attacking round that Kellen was caught out either with the pulse bomb or just kind of overstaying his welcome a little bit. I'd say both Kellen and Cuffer doing the same. It really was the Widowmaker difference from PG that helped them secure the map.
But I do think it's going to continue to be a DPS difference when you look at the Winston versus Winston. You've got Kuffa and Kellen that both want to play the Winston, so it's going to be dives across the board. And the DPS, it'll be the differentiators between how we actually see those Winstons fare. So I don't know if you are Timeless, you feel particularly comfortable going to another Winston map. Look at how it went. Not even just when you look at the Winston versus Winston on Lijiang, but now on Dorado too. Yeesh.
Yeah, the dive of dive maps, right? We've still got Hybrid. We're still chilling on that one. We've still got New Junk City and Surabaya as well for our flashpoints. Still got Push in the pool as well. There's some stats for you from that last one. Same amount of healing, a little bit more damage on NRG Shock side. Makes the most sense. 22 deaths to 42. It's a pretty big difference there between both teams, but NRG Shock, remembering like OT pushes for Timeless, they really stretch them to their limit. There's the map pool as well if you've forgotten. Showing this graphic a turn, you should have this memorized by now. I have not. Apparently, yesterday I was saying that certain maps were in the map pool and they weren't.
It's just, you're letting the subconscious of your brain be hopeful that we get a chance to see some of the maps that aren't in this pool.
That's true. Where's Esperanza? People sick of Esperanza? I'm not. I like it. It's a dive map.
I love that map. It's
Maybe
so
we're back
good.
in the pool next stage, but let's have a look where we're going now. New Junk City. All right, we're going to a push map. Yeah. I forgot the name of the game mode. Why did that escape me? Flashpoint!
Wait, now you really actually need to go study that graphic.
Yeah, I do.
Because it says...
Can I just bring the graphic back up, please? No, don't. Let's load on in. It's Timeless's map pick again. Going to a Flashpoint. New Junk City. Less dive, more rush, I'd imagine.
Malga.
Yeah, a little bit more Malga. And PG's taking a back seat, Scissors back in.
PGE can go take a nap at this point. I think he's already put in the legwork. He can go, like, sit in the sun.
He can chill for a bit.
I don't know. Dude, just chill. Yeah, Scissors are going to come back in, and I think this makes a lot of sense why we would see Timeless want to go to New Junk City. You look at the map pool for something like the hybrid maps that we have. It's all Winston. You want to play Winston on basically every single one of those, maybe outside of something like King's Row, but you also looked pretty good in the Malga mirror. Just maybe one little miscalculation on keeping something like that cage, and it was the difference maker between going to a third round on Lijiang and not. So it's going to be the Malga mirror for both of these teams. Once again, looking at the DPS and how those differences can be made. Scissors on the Pharah and Doomed on the Genji.
Really like Scissors Fire at when we went to Lijiang.
It was so good.
Super clean with it. Doomed on a small off angle on the Genji. They're very acutely aware of it too. They're trying to chase down Doomed. Yeah, this should be an easy kill.
Scissors still looking for more.
A little slam in on Kellen. Doing a fair bit of damage, and look at how far back Vision is playing right now. And Scissors is playing ground fire too, just taking the stairs instead. Kuffa needs to look at Scissors potentially.
Kuffa has no idea.
Yeah, it's like, where am I getting damage from? What is going on? Well, there's the charge. Nice little boop there onto Lucamino, forcing him into the wall as NRG Shock. They get a cap. There's still one person alive. It is Vision. Quickly dealt with, though, by Tree.
Oh, just a little bit of cleanup there onto Squid. We see the wave respawns actually come through for 3 of the members, but it's going to be Vision and Squid that trail behind just a little bit, as that is still a lot of progress here for NRG Shock, and more importantly, that's going to be quite a few ultimates. You can kick things off here with the ultraviolet amplification matrix, follow that up with something like the High Noon from Tree, and that's just a ton of space that you get to create there. Use the High Noon for a zoning ultimate for all you really care about when it comes down to how fast-paced some of these fights can be.
All right, Doom just going to put pressure on the point 4 times. The Widow's opened up. One rocket is all it takes. Single one, and it's going to be the first point to NRG Shock. No way they come back into this one. Spark skin for Doomed as well. Extremely based, using the hoodie Overwatch 2 Genji skin. Look at the ultimates as well, Rose, for NRG Shock. I mean, going into the next, time to have the combo right. They've got Cage. Well, they're going to have Cage. They're going to have Blade, but Cage Blade versus Cage Barrage, like, I mean...
I think I take the Cage Barrage. You can only deflect so much of that,
yeah,
right?
That is true.
And you also have the sound barrier, too. Like, Lucamino is trailing behind just a smidge. Maybe won't actually have the sound barrier if you know that Rack Attack is going to beat you to the punch.
All right, high ground control here for NRG Shock. Time is going to have to peak. They have got window to do it, though. High Noon. Oh, the barrage. Oh, Vision got booped into a perfect angle there with a High Noon. Scissors barrage getting absolutely nothing. There's the Cage coming through from Kellen pretty late into this fight. The DPS, well, there's one of them still alive. It is Tree. Taking down Cuffer, but now they are completely split. Ultraviolet on the point, going for the cap, while Timeless try and deal with Tree, who's being kept alive. They're going to have to hit and kill him eventually. Ultraviolet actually almost got that flip, and UV might be able to survive too, especially with the Scissors back. Oh,
Nobody's actually captured the point yet. This is going to be a pretty explosive team fight as we do start to see the reinforcements come back from both teams. Doom is going to be able to get a couple of members down and does force NRG Shock to have to back away. But that is so much time that they miss out on in terms of capture progress because of how long that fight extended. NRG Shock gets to come back into this one pretty quickly as a full team of 5 and still with ults.
Yeah, with Cage Blade as well. You're expecting Timeless just to go for this one. Cage comes in, Blade comes out. There is the beat, and there is the High Noon as well. But Tree just cut down by Doomed. You got to reset on him as well, so should be able to go for some chase kills. Yeah, you don't expect NRG Shock to come out on top of that fight at all, even with the sound barrier. Because Doom just...
It's not enough overhead.
You want to find the Cage, that's fine. I'm going to stand outside of it. I'm just going to hit you with the Blade a few times. You're dead.
So it's a perfect countermeasure there, and it does mean that NRG Shock still get another chance though, right? Because of how slow it was for Timeless to actually capture that point. You get another recontest coming in here. Now you've got the amplification matrix as well, another rocket barrage coming up soon here from Scissors. The amp matrix is enough actually to force Timeless to turn tail a little bit, go to the low ground instead.
I wonder if there's contested. I don't think there's going to be. No, NRG Shock get that point for one ult. But Squid's got a window of his own. Still got to keep the team alive, though, yeah. Be careful. We don't want Vision randomly going down as the point now being flipped or attempted to by Timeless. Doom, first of all, 4v5 now. Vision's got this High Noon. The barrage comes in. Four Scissors protected by that lamp as well, so he's not immediately killed on sight. The Tree coming up with some large frags, too. That barrage just softening up, tenderizing Timeless. And a big stagger, too, onto Lucamino.
He's actually close to beat now, though. So I think actually Lucamino not feeling too bad about that one, knowing the sound barrier can come up in this next fight. Still keeping pace with Rack Attack as well in terms of when these ultimates have been used and charged. So that's a really great ult to have just to make sure that you can respond to each other. Vision, though, does have the High Noon, so that's going to be the big difference maker between these two teams, immediately speaking, just to get Timeless back into this one.
Sound barrier comes in. Lucamino needs to get this one off. He is in a lamp, so it's a pretty safe sound barrier to use, but Vision is already dead. A flip is coming through for Timeless too, so Shock have to touch. Cage comes in, cover, trying to play ring around the rosy with Kellen and fails to do so successfully. As now Kellen just dispatching with the backline. The flip from Timeless was pretty cheeky in all honesty, but his NRG Shock just with an overwhelming ult advantage once again. There's no Cage Blade for Timeless there. Kellen pops his down, and that's about it. Rack Attack and the rest of NRG now moving their way to this final point, potentially. Timeless have just not had the ult economy at the very ending fights here to gain any points.
Just a little bit too late here for this Cage Blade combo again. They're gonna have it for this next fight, but it's been like NRG Shock coming up with infinite value whenever they use an ultimate. Even thinking back to that one fight where they just used the Ant Matrix to get the job done. They got another one up on the table.
High Noon window. Cancelled High Noon from Tree as soon as all that window come up. Got a bit of space. Looks like NRG Shock trying to take this high ground. Yeah, better window position. You're loving that right now. If you're UV and Tree shooting through it. They managed to isolate and kill Lucamino. And with that barrage, that will be the point. Good disengage. I mean, if you lose anybody there as well, 2 squids window, that's Shock in a bad state. There's a very nice group up as 5, speed away, go to high ground, pop our own window up, just extend that fight.
But it was good pacing too from NRG Shock because they actually forced Timeless into a position where they were not comfortable using the Cage Blade. They had that ready to go in that last fight, and that could have been a difference between them actually capturing it now or later.
Speaking of which,
they have no choice but to use it now.
Cage Blades, yeah, that's a guaranteed fight win unless Scissors can find a miracle 5k. Unlikely, however. Go for the dash. Right on the edge. No, Scissors killing Squid. Vision going down as well. This is messy. Coming through from Timeless. I mean, Kellen's still alive. Doom gets squished. His 50 HP, but it took a long time to kill Kellen. Tree switches over to Tracer to try and get a touch. Doesn't quite make it, but Timeless, that wasn't as clean as they'd hoped.
No, it's really not, because now, like, that's 69% of capture progress there for Shock. While all of that fight was happening, and you are coming back into this one with a cage of your own, too. It's not looking good here for Timeless. Even the sound barrier is not going to be enough to deal with it. You have Cage Barrage, actually, so sorry, Lucamino. It's going to have to be, like, the fattest sound barrier of your life.
Barrage beat versus the beat window. Lucamino already low, and oh, dearie me.
Oh, he's already dead!
Just cut him up and turn him into sashimi. NRG Shock, they got 69%, and with their Timeless, they've got the ults, but Shock didn't need any at all.
Well, they know that their backs are against the wall. They cannot afford to lose anybody else here.
There's the cage. I don't take Kellen's chances here. Nice lamp, though, onto Scissors, helping him survive through that initial source of damage. And with 95% NRG Shock, they're just backpedaling right now, knowing that someone from Timeless has to touch. It was Lucamino. He's going to trigger OT once again, but it's not to be. NRG Shock finished that one out with a 3-0 on Flashpoint, and the series to boot.
What a perfect plays coming through there from NRG Shock at the end. It felt like every single time they were initiating the fight so early, it just forced Timeless into a position where they were uncomfortable. Either getting first picked, they couldn't use any of their ultimates either, and as you called out during that match, there was just very little time. It felt like they had the ultimate advantage.
Yeah, those, especially looking at the second point, that Cage Blade was just, what, 15% or something? It was right there.
Yeah.
That would have been the flip, that would have been the cap, but it was NRG Shock that came out big, utilizing the subs as well. PG came in for Dorado, looking great on the Widowmaker. NRG Shock with a clean 3-0, and yes, Johnny got a pred right for once. What a fantastic series thus far, and well, they're gonna go all the way through the upper bracket. They'll meet Toronto. It'll be a rough game, but it'll be an entertaining one as we jump over to the desk and they can break that one down for us.
We can indeed. Yeah, congrats, Johnny. What an achievement for NRG Shock.
I wasn't gonna say anything to the guy over there, but we can move right along with the show.
All right, let's do that then. Absolute incredible performance from NRG Shock. Feels like PG watched our pre-show here. He had a point to prove on that Widowmaker. We weren't dragging him. It was factual that he died a lot. They still won, and he was out for revenge today. Absolutely filthy, disgusting.
I mean, this is actually across the board, right? PG comes in on Dorado, has a huge performance, but this is way more than just PG. Oh, yeah. I mean, Kellen was fearsome in this series, making a case for a competitor for best tank in NA. Like, gonna be, I think, I mean, now we got, like, the battle between NRG and Toronto, I think is going to be hotly anticipated, because this is the best I've seen NRG Shock play. We've got Tree and Ultraviolet coming in, really leveling up this squad. I mean, this is a scary team to be playing against. Maybe only Toronto Defiant can be confident in any kind of match, and I wonder if anyone else in NA can challenge them.
There's PG.
There's a surprise PG.
He's trapped in the monitor. And we're back.
I'm sure we get to him in just a little bit, but first we gotta watch him and the team fragging out. That was funny.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. And I'm really impressed by like the structure of this team as well. So I want to give Wheats a shout out, the head coach for NRG Esports, you know, getting a lot of new members into this team like Tree and Ultraviolet Kellen, and then getting these compositions sorted. The first map, of course, you know, we saw Tree, for example. He actually started out and played some of those flex heroes, then swapping over to the hit scan as well. And then, you know, rotating in PGE on Dorado, for example, and having an amazing game, right? So I feel like this NRG Shock team, they know what compositions they want to play, how they want to utilize their subs. And I love the organization they have going into these matches. So I'm looking forward to see how they do against a team like Toronto Defiant at this point.
Yeah, it looked so well rehearsed and so practiced, and considering how little practice time they actually had with this squad, with these players, given the roster revamps we saw heading into stage 3. Very, very incredible stuff from NRG Shock. I'm very excited to see what they can get done against Toronto Defiant, which thus far have been looking absolutely untouched. Kellen, you've already shouted him out. He got himself the player of the match honors, and rightfully so. What a stellar performance.
I mean, on the Winston, he just absolutely dismantled Timeless, right? On this first point, I thought the fight was done and dusted. Kellen comes up with a solo 3K on Winston, clutches the defense. I mean, on the Mauga, I think as well, just super consistent, leading the team. So he's got different styles in his back pocket. The team looks really consistent all around him. Very impressive performance from Kellen.
Indeed. Now, speaking of impressive things, we've got to roll it back once more. We talked about it already. We want to see more PGA highlights since we did the lowlights and setting up the match. We've got to give credit where credit is due. We're actually not sorry because it was very entertaining, but so are the highlights. These shots are filthy. Like, how? Actually, how?
This was actually disgusting.
And it's not one or two. It was just like, I don't know how many in a row.
He was a living highlight reel on Dorado.
Actually.
I mean, time and time again.
That was the one time he missed. Those 2 times. Oh, my God.
Just throughout the game, he was delivering. I mean, I feel like the team is just firing on all cylinders all around. Like those headshots on Winston, right? It's like, what do you do?
Like the Tracer kills were absurd, and the amount of times that he did it, just the consistency. Like this one,
I feel so bad for Doom. Like Doom is not like normally. It's someone's just like, oh, maybe you messed up being in the sight line. Like Doom is not really messing this up. He's pressuring PG. He's aggressive on him, and then PG just hits a shot like that. You can't fully play around a Widowmaker, and this is why when you're just on this level, when you're performing like that. Like, as like, what do you do? What do you do when somebody's hitting these shots?
You do nothing. You just take him. Honestly, like, but this is exactly why there were so many resources allocated to take him down in the previous match. I mean, obviously, you gotta try and take PG out of the server as quickly as you can. You need to, because otherwise, he's just free-range shooting. Absolutely filthy. Wouldn't want to be on the other side of that. I do want to be on the other side of an interview with him, though, and we got him standing by now with a small preview already.
He's back.
But here he is on the big screen. PG, thank you so much for taking the time for joining us once again for a quick chat. What a performance. You were out here proving something after the low
22 deaths.
Low reel. Yeah. How do you feel about your performance today?
Really awesome. It was really nice to be able to play Widow. That's my favorite character in the game. Really fun. Sombra.
I gotta know, PGE. So what, like, and then I'm sure that all the fans at home want to know what did you do today? What's the routine? What did you have for breakfast? like, how did you deliver like that? And how can you do it again in your next match?
I woke up. I started listening to some Chief Keef. Good day. It's a good day to play some Widow.
All right, all right. Put that Chief Keef on and play Widow. You heard it here.
Can anyone take it to you? Are you the best Widow in NA?
I want to prove myself as the best Widow. So hopefully, I can do that.
I mean, you're on track to do just that. How do you feel you and the team will stack up against Toronto Defiant?
Hopefully, we can take a map or two. You know, do a little. At least cause an upset. Prove that we can knock up to the big guys.
That's more than most other teams have managed against Toronto Defiant. So best of luck in that match. We can't wait to see you guys in action again. Congrats once more to you and the whole squad.
Thank you so much.